I bought a scooter. This is a 2014 Honda Forza 300 scooter. So it's about 300 cc's. I think it's 279 cc's to be exact. So it's a big scooter. It's called a maxi scooter. It can go about 80 miles an hour. Gets about 65 to 70 miles per gallon. And that translates into about 200 miles on a tank of gas. And I bought this back in, I think, November for $2,150. Now you might be saying, Tristan, that is an extremely impractical adventure vehicle. To which I would respond, you're not wrong, but I have great plans, grand plans even, for this scooter. We're gonna go on some fun adventures together. But the story of why I bought this and what I'm gonna do with it and what I was planning on doing with it, but I'm not gonna do, that's all a long story. Let's get into it. This all started in about September or October of last year, and I sort of suddenly decided that I wanted to get a motorcycle. I've always sort of wanted a motorcycle and wanted to learn how to ride one, but I'd never done anything about it. But then in the fall of last year, a switch just flipped in my brain and I figured it was time. The problem was that I didn't know how to ride a motorcycle. I'd never been on a motorcycle before. And so I went onto YouTube, I watched about 1 million videos on how to ride a motorcycle, and then I took a 2-day Wyoming Department of Transportation class on how to ride a motorcycle, and I got my motorcycle license, or the motorcycle endorsement on my license. The initial plan was to get a small dual sport motorcycle that's essentially a street legal dirt bike. I thought that would be a ton of fun for riding around where I live in places like this. I thought that would be a lot of fun to put on the back of the Land Cruiser and take into the mountains, take into the desert, and just follow the little dirt roads wherever they lead. The problem is that I wanted a vehicle that I could go on adventures with pretty quickly. And like I said, this was all happening in like September, October, and into November. And in Wyoming, that's just about the end of the riding season. And so I thought, okay, I can't really ride a motorcycle still. I mean, technically I know how to, but I need practice before I do a big grand adventure on a motorcycle. But a scooter, I can ride a scooter. Scooters have what's called a continuously variable transmission, which basically means twist and go. There's no clutch, there's no gear shifting, and that makes them very easy to ride. I've ridden a couple scooters before in Southeast Asia, and it's just something that's much easier to pick up than a proper motorcycle. And so I bought a scooter. I bought this scooter. I bought it in November, and it's been sitting all winter, and I thought once spring hits, I'll go on some adventures with it, and so that's basically what I'm doing. I think that ultimately I am going to sell this and get a small off-road capable motorcycle, but for now I'm excited about going on some adventures with this. And that brings us to what exactly those adventures are. The plan ever since I bought this scooter was to ride it across the country and camp along the way. Coast to coast. From San Diego, that was the plan, to start in San Diego and go to North Carolina. I thought that would be so fun, that would be an epic adventure, and I thought it would make for some interesting videos. And so that was the plan until yesterday, and things have changed a little bit. As I've been planning this trip, I've been getting less and less excited about it. I didn't really feel great about it. I just didn't really want to do it. It seemed like kind of a slog, like 3 weeks of riding a scooter across the country, of doing the same thing every day for the better part of a month, just seemed daunting and kind of boring and just not something that I was looking forward to, which is a bummer because I said that I was going to go and do a cross-country trip. I said I was going to go to the east and the southeast, and you guys gave me some really good suggestions. You helped me plan some good chunks of that trip. And up until yesterday morning, I was planning on doing that trip. But then I just decided I didn't want to do it because I wasn't excited about it. And so if that is disappointing to you guys, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit disappointed too, but I'm infinitely more excited. I feel like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. Because even to get to San Diego, I was gonna have to ride this thing for like 1,000 miles over 3 or 4 days to just get to the start of the ride. And then, I was looking forward to stuff in the Southwest, my home turf basically. But as we got into Texas and Oklahoma and beyond, I was just like, I'd rather just be in the West, honestly. I'd rather just be in the mountains. I'd rather just be in the desert. And so, again, I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but the new plan is to ride this to Canada. And that I'm very excited about. I've been to Canada technically, like I've been across the border at Niagara Falls, and I've been to the Vancouver airport several times, but I've never really been to Canada, and I've never made any SUV RVing videos about anything in Canada. There are actually two destination goals that I have in mind for this trip. Canada, and then the Pacific Ocean via Seattle. My brother lives in the Seattle area, and so it would make just kind of a nice end point. I would go a little bit further, probably to the edge of the Olympic Peninsula to go to the Pacific Ocean proper, just to end the trip there. But initially, the goal is Canada, and if I like being on the scooter, if I like that trip, I'm going to continue on to Seattle, to the Pacific, but no promises. Now, this isn't going to be a super comprehensive guide to motorcycling the roads of Canada or anything like that. This is just me spending a couple days in the southern British Columbia Rockies, just driving around, doing a little bit of hiking, seeing the sights, and experiencing a brand new place to me. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching the channel here, stay tuned, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because starting in, I think, the next video, either the next one or the one after that, I'm gonna go on a scooter trip to Canada and possibly beyond. And I live in southwestern Wyoming, so this is not going to be a quick, easy jaunt up the road to just get to Canada. These are the Uinta Mountains out here. This is the highest mountain range in Utah. Those snow-capped peaks on the horizon. And we are close to Flaming Gorge National Recreation Area, if you know where that is. That's just like over here. This is about 25 minutes from home. Pretty cool spot. And so the plan is to ride from here into Idaho and then through sort of eastern Idaho up into Montana, drive through Montana, and then probably go back up into the northern tip of the panhandle of Idaho and then cross into Canada from there. Probably do a loop within Canada and then come back into the US at the same spot. And so I don't know how many videos this trip will be. I'm guessing 4, 5, 6 videos, somewhere in that range, depending on how far I go and how long the trip takes me. And I am indeed going to be camping along the way. So I'm gonna have all my camping gear on the scooter, and it is going to be a fun adventure on a fun, if somewhat impractical, adventure mobile. And I say impractical because, of course, this is not an off-road vehicle. This is very much an on-pavement vehicle, so finding campsites will be tricky, will be a little bit interesting, but it can go down short dirt roads. Like, I went down a few 100-foot long dirt road to get to this spot, and it worked. So cross your fingers for me, and let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know, yeah, anything else that's on your mind about this kind of strange left turn into a different kind of adventuring. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.